Alexa, turn this on off. Thank you. Alexa, tell me that Adele joke. What the fuck? Alexa, tell me that Adele joke. Alexa, tell me that Adele joke.
Why did Adele cross the road? To say hello from the other side.
Why did Adele cross the... To say hello from the other side. I love that one. Thank you, Alexa. You can go away now. Alright, everyone. My name is Victor E. That's Victor E with an E. I was made in Detroit and born in Boca Raton, if you want to imagine how that happens. And I was born into a Jewish family on my father's side and a bunch of Christian Catholic mothers through Immaculate Conception, because I am just that fucking awesome. I'm going for the whole Jesus Jeffrey Dahmer look. You know, I really look up to both of them. Anyway, this whole special is going to be called The Loser. And I probably am a loser since I can't turn this fucking TV off. Thank you, Alexa. Anyway, you see, I've been rapping and freestyling for years now, calling myself Victory because it's my fucking name. But I can assure you that I never have really won anything. However, I did find $100 bill the other day after walking my dog after she had a seizure and shit all over the house. It was, I mean, like, can you imagine? I mean, that's crazy. Now, if I had won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anybody, but there would be signs. Yeah, there'd be signs, probably all over the city in gold font saying how much better I am than you. Being an adult is awesome. You get to own pretty much anything you ever wanted. I own every video game I've ever wanted. I own an Xbox One, a PS3, PS4 and 5, a VR set for my 4 and 5, a Nintendo 64 if you can fucking believe it, and a Nintendo Switch. And I have no friends or any time to play any of that shit. Now on another note, I really like pizza. Now, I mean, like, I really like pizza. So much to the point that I think I'm looking and starting to look like a fucking Ninja Turtle. Now, if you can't see it, then I can't help you with your imagination. Now, I'm too indecisive, though. Like, I could literally never make a decision. I asked my friend Tara if I should buy this, if I should buy that, and I end up buying it all anyway. But I always want food. I want pizza, Chinese food, a burrito from Taco Bell, Wendy's, sushi. Indian food actually sounds really good. Pussy and some dick, all at the same time. You see, I'm just a gross pig. I think I have diabetes type C. You see, I just kept eating and, well, see? Now, this one's a true story. And if it's too hard for anybody, well, you'll see where this is going and what I'm all about. But, you know, when my roommate shot himself in our room, I was pretty sad. In fact, I was pretty fucked up. Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty fucked up. I was really sad. I was having seizures all the time and crying like all the time. But I wasn't as sad as how pissed I was that he got blood in my favorite Spider Man cup that I had to throw away. Yeah. I love that Spider-Man Cub. Now, I'm not sure if I miss him as in the roommate or that Spider-Man Cub more. I mean, what was really going on through his head at the time? Wait, never mind. That's not a funny joke. It's just honestly not fair, though. He doesn't have to pay taxes anymore. I still do. Next topic. I got cheated on once. Yep, I got cheated on once, and it was horrifying. And I walked in on it. And when I walked in on it, I said, Mom, how could you do this to me? You know I love Dad. If you don't get that joke, wait. Now, I was a babysitter before. Yeah, I was a babysitter. And I babysit this really cute kid. And for years, everyone asked me, why do you always babysit this same really cute kid? You don't even really like kids. It's true. I don't really love kids. But, you see, the truth is, the parents never actually paid me, so I technically kidnapped the kid. But the problem solved. Hold on. I didn't realize I didn't like kids, so I returned the kid and I kidnapped the parents instead. I mean, they're buried somewhere. Don't worry about them. I'm sure the kid's fine. But anyway, my ex-girlfriend wanted to try to spicing up the stuff that we do in the bedroom. So we tried everything from kidnapping kids to their parents to just kidding. We eventually got ropes and chains and toys, sex doll, 2 dogs, a cat, and a sheep. But I just got tired of it all and left. I said she could deal with all that shit. It's not for me. Not for me anymore. Like I said, I don't really like kids, and I really mean it when I say I don't like kids. Yeah, I used to hide in those those fake big ass Christmas gift boxes under the Christmas tree at the mall. Not the Hanukkah ones, just the Christmas ones, because they didn't have the Hanukkah ones. We didn't count. So they'd always go up to Santa and ask for their gift, and I would just jump out of the Christmas box and yell random stuff like, Krampus is gonna get you. And these kids would run to their fucking parents crying. I really don't know why they were crying. All I know is I'm pretty sure they don't believe in Christmas anymore. And I know for a fact I'm banned from that hotel. Did I say hotel? I meant mall. I work at a hotel and a restaurant. But anyway, so once I got to push my nephew so hard he fell off the swing. It was great. One of the best moments of my life. And after I pushed him off the swing, he was crying and he bruised his knee and he had asked me, why did I do that? And I was like, well, I told him, you said you wanted to fly like Buzz Lightyear, so I wanted to make your dreams come true and give you a little push. And he actually smiled, so it worked like a charm. Best feeling ever. When I was 13, maybe 14, I had these neighbors. They were about 8, 7, or 9. And we'd always sword fight with my Star Wars toy lightsabers. And I'd beat their asses with those lightsabers. I mean, like, all the time. And I must have broken 4 or 5 or 6 of those lightsabers on their faces, legs, and shoulders and arms. I knew back then, even before the movie came out, that I was definitely more like Anakin Skywalker than Obi-Wan Kenobi. I just knew it. I remember seeing George Carlin live in concert. If you don't know who George Carlin is, I personally think you're an idiot or a moron. But that's okay to be ignorant. Look up George Carlin. Now, I saw him before he died, and he said that the Dark Side of the Moon album by Pink Floyd if you don't know what that album is, or that group, rock and roll, psychedelic rock and roll group is, look that up. He said that the Dark Side of the Moon album by Pink Floyd was worth 100 dead babies. Now, I personally think George Carlin was one of the funniest comedians of all time. But he undersold the shit out of that album. That album was worth millions of dead babies. Fuck them kids. Let me get this. Fuck them kids. It's a great album. That album is like one of the best albums I've ever heard next to Outkast Speakerboxxx The Love Below. Now, I remember in middle school, I had this science teacher that was replaced over and over and over again with another science teacher and another science teacher and another science teacher, because our fucking class were a bunch of delinquents. However, this new science teacher that we finally ended up keeping until the end of the year was a huge bodybuilder, gigantic, and he was terrifying, but he was smart. He told us on day one that he was absolutely and completely terrified. He had the worst, terrible phobia of lizards. Any type of lizard. The little tiny ones to geckos like I have, to iguanas, any type of lizard he was deadly afraid of. So like the delinquents my classmates were, decided to prank him on the last day of school and throw a tiny little lizard onto the teacher's face. And the teacher started screaming and freaking out. And he threw a desk chair. You know, the desks that are connected to the chair. The desk chair. He threw a desk chair straight at the kid. Knocked the kid like almost out conscious who threw the lizard at him. So I got to see this shit. And I gotta say, I felt so bad. Really bad. Not for the kid. Fuck that kid. He deserved it. But for the teacher. But this is how cool karma works. Because not only is he now the teacher that was deadly afraid of lizards, and everyone knows, but is publicly known for throwing a desk chair at a student. And then the very next year, I believe it was the next year, maybe it was the year after that, becomes the principal of the middle school. I kid you not. The fucking system works. Now, I think they should make a Yes Man sequel with Jim Carrey, obviously, again, and Kathleen Kennedy actually acting. If you don't know who Kathleen Kennedy is, look it up. She's the one who's basically in charge of all these decisions at Disney. But anyway, I think she should actually fucking act. And they end up playing as two black gay women who have to say yes to everything. And they make them say yes to the purge, and they make them say yes to every urge. And I was told I had to rhyme that. I'm not going to tell you who told me. Anyway, I like guns. I actually just started to collect guns. Now, my best friend Tara is terrified that I'll hurt myself or someone else because of my emotional anger issues. I was going to get, though, a couple of guns for the holidays because, fuck it, why not? Let's do it. But I decided just to get one, and I told my friend Tara if I got more than one that it would have been overkill. Okay. Now, I have gotten molested multiple times, but let's just skip all the sad parts about that shit. But here's a good story. Now, I got molested once by a female cop. She wasn't the best female cop. She pulled me and my lying, cheating ass girlfriend at the time. She pulled us over, and she made my ex-girlfriend in handcuffs on the street curb, watch as she molested me, straight up over my car. And true story, that was the best hand job I have ever had. Now don't ever stop laughing. Like, don't stop believing. Don't even eat or sleep. Just keep laughing. Yo, would that be terrifying? Wouldn't that be terrifying? You just couldn't stop laughing? Whoa, 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 whoa. I just came up with a great movie idea. You ready? Vegans versus zombies. In a world that has gone completely mad after everyone has turned into zombies for eating meat in the flesh, fortunately, the vegans are the world's only hope for humanity. Let's give a round of applause for these fucking pussies. Next topic. I like sex, but I'm lazy about it now. I'm almost 34 and I don't plan on turning 34. However, I wish I was born in the 60s. Because, hear me out, if I was born in the 60s, I would have been in a lot of orgies in the 70s and 80s and 90s and the early 2000s and whatever comes after that, the 2010s, the roaring 30s or whatever. It's like I said, I like orgies. Wait, I said I like sex first, didn't I? I like sex. Skip over to the part where I actually really mean I like orgies. Yeah. So I've been thinking about getting my dog a puppy. It's not for me. She's going to have to feed it and walk it. I'm staying out of it this time. I am not going to bury another dog. You know, I always loved animals, though. So much so that I have gone through 10 cats, 5 dogs, a turtle, a goldfish, currently a fancy leopard gecko, because you know me, nails done, hair done, everything big. You fancy, huh? Now, to be honest, the most annoying of all the pets that I have ever had was this little black kitten. No, that's not racist. And I'll explain why he was so annoying. He would try to eat my dick every time I would masturbate. And that little fucker knew I was circumcised and would still try to get the tip. So I called him Rabbi. His real name was Artramentus. We named him Artie. Artramentus actually means black as ink. Not black ass ink. Black as ink. Because he was really dark. So anyway, I really can't emphasize on the addiction I had to Facebook. I mean, I would just look at it all day and accomplish nothing. Since like 2009. Yeah. Just looking at the fucking screen on my phone. Hello. All day. All day long. Oh, that looks funny. Oh, wow, that's cool looking. Oh, that's a great quote. Oh, that looks funny. Oh, wow, that's cool looking. Oh, wow, that's a great quote. Damn, she got some big ass titties. And like I said, I would accomplish nothing. I deleted Facebook, deleted Instagram, deleted Facebook Messenger, and look at me now. Still accomplishing nothing. So speaking of accomplishments, my black ass girlfriend, I love how it says black ass girlfriend, like black ass girlfriend, would wake up at 4 a.m. just to do her makeup for 2 hours every morning. And this was ridiculous. I had to teach her how to draw and shape her eyebrows. She used to draw these gigantic squares over each eye, and it looked it looked crazy. It looked ridiculous. It was just so funny. But I taught her how to do it right. And whenever she pissed me off, I just licked my hand, I'd wipe her eyebrows off. Like I said, black ex-girlfriend. We broke up, needless to say. Now, I had another black girlfriend. Her name was Nicole. And I loved saying, "What's up, my nickel?" She, sometimes she laughed, sometimes she didn't, but her name was Nicole, so it would be like, "What's up, my nickel?" I don't know, I liked it a lot. I missed it. That ass was just... Alright, moving on. I went up to a family with a child on a leash, and I yelled at this family with a cute little puppy. Like I said, I really love animals. I just don't really care for kids, you know? Now, the other night, I don't remember when I went to bed, but probably like really fucking late. And I think I woke up around 5:30 in the morning to my dog, Pup, just shitting all over the house. I was throwing up after that all day, and I tried to sleep in before work, like early, or sleep in for work, but I was cold, hot, and sweaty, and I kept throwing up and having diarrhea, which I'm sure had to do with breathing in Pup shit. I mean, needless to say, I had a really shitty day. I mean, she's the type of girl that when she's mad, I can take her for a nice, good walk, and we'll get back into the house. I'll sit right here on this couch, and she'll look at me. She'll sit right in front of me. She'll be like, "Hey, what's up, Victor?" I'll be like, "Hey, hi, Pop." And she'll just take up shit right in front of me, right after we just went for a walk. I don't know how much more I can deal with this shit. Now, I was thinking, what if dinosaurs still existed? Do you think some of them would be pets? You think any of them would be smart enough to make us pets? Some of us are really fucking stupid. I mean, I miss having a partner and going all out on dinner and trying a whole bunch of different food together. That had nothing to do with dinosaurs. But like I said, I'm just indecisive. I'm hungry, and I want like 8 different things at the same fucking time, and including a pet dinosaur. Now, let me fucking get this straight. If I ever did have a kid, if I ever did have a kid, let me tell you right here and right now that I can assure you that if it's a boy, hell, even if it's a boy, girl, a they, them, it, that, it's blue, I don't care. It will not be named fucking Billy. I repeat, it will not be named fucking Billy. I mean, just think about what happens to Billy all the time. He's always a fucking moron, because that's exactly what ends up happening to every Billy in every story, in every book, in every movie, in every timeline in the multiverse of Billy and hillbillies. Billy gets fucked. I'm not naming my kid fucking Billy. Alright, this one's just for the fellas. This one's for the dudes. You know what I'm saying, guys. Only the real men listening up will know exactly where this is going, because I can only ask this question to the males. So it should be blatantly obvious. But anyway, answer this question in your head, because I can't hear it. Here it goes. So when you're sucking his dick, are you imagining you sucking your own dick like I do? Alright, Starbucks and Dunkin'. Should they be open 24/7? I mean, if America runs on that shit, And there's addicts like me who are either working late or staying up late all the fucking time. We need a place to go, right? But hold on. Let's be real here. It would be detrimental. I mean, absolutely horrible, terrible, same fucking word, for the gays. Do I even need to explain why? America runs on that shit. Now, I feel like not liking something is to 100% be discriminating against the idea of enjoying a different pleasure. For instance, ladies, not liking anal or giving head. It's discriminating against the idea of enjoying a different pleasure. It's just like saying you won't listen to blues and hip hop because black people made it. You're discriminating against the idea of enjoying a different pleasure. Hear me out. It could be anything really. From fucking black dicks to pepperoni or pineapple on your pizza. You are discriminating against the idea of enjoying a different pleasure. Guys, this is how you get your girl to never mind. Funny story. So the very first time I ever tried to do anal with this girl, I considered my high school sweetheart actually. I actually considered her one of the most beautiful girls in the world, at least at that time, and that ass was beyond perfect. But since it was my first time, I had no idea what kind of lube I was supposed to use. Like, at all. So I didn't get this right. So I used massage oil, which has all that eucalyptus and shit in it. And I put my pee-pee in her butt, and ooh, it was the best feeling in the whole wide world. But she started screaming that her butthole burnt. So I was like, fuck, this feels so good. Does this mean I have to take it out? Of course it means I have to take it out. But, I mean, if I could go back in time, if I could go back in time and do anything right, anything at all, it would be using the correct lube. Hell, even baby oil would have worked, or butter. Sometimes I just like butter. Sometimes I just lie there in bed at night hoping I can go back in time. You ever just fell in love with an ass? But fuck it. That's life, right? I got peed on once. Yep. I got peed on and wasn't ready for that piss. My ex and I were having sex and we're talking about different types of fantasies and foreplay because you can actually fucking do that. And we started talking about pissing. And I'm like, do it, you won't. And then she just fucking did. And I wasn't prepared for that piss. So I freaked out and I threw the bitch off the bed. It was a really tall bed. Of course, now I'm the asshole who not only told her to do it and piss on me, but I also threw her off this really tall bed. I was also now the asshole that would put cat litter in her bed for months on end, and we would always get into fights over it. You see why I wiped her eyebrows off when she pissed me off now? I never got over that piss. Now, I loved my birth mom, but she was a crazy bitch. I mean, not only did she try to drown me when I was a baby, true story, either she tried to drown me, let me drown, or was prostituting on drugs and wasn't around. I just imagine me eating a little cockroach and then I go like crawl through the little sliding glass door and I'm in the bottom of the pool. My brother finds me. But she also tried to catch me on fire while I was an adult. So, lesson learned, mom. I mean, I guess just don't try to take your mom's drugs away. This next one's kind of deep. Now, my dad used to touch me. It's a true story. It's not a joke. Not in a good way, like in the heart. But he also used to beat us. And he once beat me with an entire bag of tuna cans. Hurt like shit. I'll never forget it. Like I can say, life was rough. And with a very competitive father, having a 19-year-old hot-ass stepmom didn't help because she'd beat my ass too, as well as my older brothers that were like 13 and 15 years older than me, that were definitely attracted to my hot-ass 19-year-old stepmom. But only my father was allowed to beat me because he was so fucking competitive. And yeah, he beat me in everything, from pool, basketball, fist fights, flirting with my girlfriends, and I was suicidal most of my life. I mean, since I was really young. And my mother and that motherfucker, my father, both of them beat me to that too. They both killed themselves. So basically, he's still beating me after his death to the grave. I don't like to make fun of people. I think it's wrong. But, however, I do have a list of things people like to make fun of other people for. For instance, clothing and how you dress ridiculous with all of those piercings on your tattoos on your face. I can't see you. You look very young and naive, you gothic punk emo fuck. I don't understand you. I love you. just fucking around. But actually, anyone believing in any religion that massacred others, that's just fucking hilarious. Having acne because you look like a geek. The color of your orange skin if you were our ex-president. Choosing to have specific color of skin other than your own. Being born with color of skin and not accepting it. That one's just so fucking good. Scars, cuts, burns on the cook that you work with. Like me, you're a little annoying, tiny self-esteem for having a small penis. Body dysmorphia, because for some reason, being transgender or choosing to drag is hot right now, especially around the children. But being blind and being called four eyes is fucked up. But being deaf, or fuck it, being blind and deaf, those guys are the real troopers. They're really fucked. Having them, what are they supposed to do? I don't know what to do. Having missing limbs, they don't even know how to say I don't know what to do, right? I mean, do they? Can you imagine not having limbs? You're missing limbs. You're not able to do a fucking kickflip, even though I can't do one. That's still funny. Holding hands because, fuck it, why not have the one thing that's like so fucking cute taken away from you? I'm about to cry. Alright, let's move on. Having Down syndrome because, fuck it, why not? Let's call it up syndrome. Why you gotta be so pessimistic? Anyway, being too short because it's actually really funny when you can't reach something and then you ask me to do it and I don't want to, so then you have to get a stool and I get to watch being called a real man or not based on being too short or the things that I do for you. Being too fat because fuck it, why not make fun of someone feeling worse about themselves for being unhealthy? Being too skinny for the same exact reasons I throw up almost every morning. It just feels good. Having a big nose because I'm Jewish and part African. Having gray old balls. It just sounds funny. Gray old balls. Okay. Having facial hair and looking like a terrorist, an Arabic Indian with body odor, or a hippie having dreads, or some pussy like me wearing a man bun like MGK. It's very confusing. Having too much body hair because you're a Greek bastard, having small breasts or a small ass, a smelly vagina because of me not lasting long in bed. Being called Mexican when you're Spanish but not from Mexico. I swear, Spanish people are the most fucking racist of all. Them, if you're from a different country than they are, they fucking hate you. But being too gay, being not gay enough around the gays, being bi and too fucking indecisive like me, or lesbians that hate men, that's always fun to watch. Being adopted or having divorced parents or abusive family members like I did, it's just great. It's hilarious. It's great content. Irish, Scottish, English, Australian, South African accents sound the same to me and I can't do them. Being too nice, you fucking Canadians. And worst of all, cankles, freckles, and those fucking soulless gingers. Alright. Now, I like to cough on people who still wear their mask in public. It's just really funny to me, but who knows? Maybe I am sick. So my first fiance had this Great Dane. She had this Great Dane sized Rottweiler. It was a Rottweiler. Great Dane sized Rottweiler. And we're having sex in her parents' kitchen. The girlfriend and I, not the Great Dane and I. And I'm hitting it from behind. But all of a sudden, this dog comes from behind me and starts licking my asshole clean while I'm fucking my fiance at the time. I love that dog. Just fucking with you. True story, though. I'll never get over it. My first love. Before I ever came out of the closet, which is basically why no one in my family speaks to me as a pansexual who's just attracted to pots and pans. I'm just kidding. It basically means I'm a fucking whore who likes everyone. But I would tell men my name was Jimmy. I'm actually extremely cautious and reluctant and picky when it comes to sex, but I like all genders and trans. I just have to be able to beat you in a fist fight, because push comes to shove my ass, bitch, and it's on. Anyway, before I came out, I went as Jimmy. Jimmy! Didn't matter. I'd never tell guys my real name until one night I'm at my birth mom's boyfriend's place, which has a guard gate. And this guy that I'm talking to on Grindr met me at the pool at the clubhouse in the neighborhood where my mom lived with her boyfriend, who was a drug and alcohol supervisor, and she was using drugs, which means he was enabling her. Or anyway, off topic. I met the guy at the clubhouse, and he said, "Hey, Victor," and I'm like, "Whoa, how the hell did you figure out my name?" And he told me that the guard at the guard gate told him my name, and I was like, "Fuck," because I've been telling everyone my name is Jimmy. I wasn't coming out. It was embarrassing to me. But then we fucked as myself, Victory, and not some made-up character named Jimmy, and it was the best man meet I've ever had multiple times, and just comes to show you that if you just be yourself, you'll come multiple times by a guy named Mike in a neighborhood clubhouse bathroom, hot tub, back of a car, and eventually in your mean ex-girlfriend's big-ass eyebrows blue couch while she's out of town. That's what you get for being mean to me, bitch. So, anyway, can I be honest with everyone? I just haven't been the same since, though. I just haven't been the same ever since Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. snapped his fingers and said he was Iron Man, and Thanos and his army disappeared, and Tony Stark died. I just haven't been the same. Do you know what I'm saying, man? I wrote a will. I actually wrote a will several times. I sent it to my Facebook pen pal Tara. She was terrified. The funny thing is, I keep editing it whenever people piss me off, so I have to keep sending it to her over and over and over and over and over again. So I'm pretty sure I freaked her out to the max. But anyway, I got a blowjob with Pop Rocks once. I kid you not, I thought my dick was going to explode. It did, just not in the way that you might have thought. Hell, once I got a blowjob from the other side of a rock climbing wall. When I came, I thought I was going to fall off, and I screamed out, "Hello from the other side." Did you know your face goes numb when you do cocaine? I did. They say after only a few hits of acid, you're insane. But what if you got your ass beat? You got your ass hit your whole childhood, and then a few hundred hits of acid later. How insane are you then? So I have epilepsy, and I literally have seizures like all the time. It used to be really bad. It's not that bad anymore, but I've lost over 10 jobs. I almost sued because of it. Almost died a few times, so I got Pup, my Husky Shepherd wolf dog, as a service dog for my epilepsy a couple of years back. And now this bitch is getting seizures too. So I need a service dog for my service dog. My fucking life. I love her though. She's my whole life. I go to work, come home to my baby girl Pup. I also have a cat and a leopard gecko, Luna Bay and Loki. You see, she's a jealous bitch, my dog, and I can't bring any other girls or men over without her shitting all over the house afterwards. But she's getting old, and she keeps falling down a lot, so I try not to kick her as much as I used to. Just kidding. But I got some guns, just in case anybody tried to come into my house and specifically tried to kick my dog. Now I remember the first time I played Star Wars Squadrons VR on PlayStation. While I'm flying in space in VR, the graphics are the trippiest things I have ever seen, and I go right into a seizure. I wake up out of the seizure, and I'm still wearing the VR headset fucking flying around in space. So I went right back into the game, playing it. Coolest moment in my life. It felt like I was skydiving on acid while rubbing one off. I actually don't promote drugs. I just endorse them. I have a lot of racist, homophobic family members, even though our grandma was clearly black or dark or part African. It doesn't matter, but some of our family members just don't like dark people or the gays. And some of them went as far as to say that I don't even have epilepsy. But I'll tell you a funny story. Just last year, I'm at work. I'm a server, and one of the frequent customers walks behind me and squeezes my butt. I didn't know she was behind me. I was looking and talking to the kitchen. So needless to say, I go straight into a seizure. I actually thought it was a really funny story because for the next entire year, she is just apologizing every single time, and I just find it funny because she squeezed my butt and it put me into a seizure. I'm just so sensitive, you know. I didn't know she was behind me, but it is what it is. The very first time I had one was in Spanish 2 class in high school. I had a seizure after I cracked my spine on the desk behind me. I was sitting in the back corner of the class, and apparently it lasted for a few seconds. But I had to be told by the student next to me that tried to sell me weed that it happened. And then later that year, I went to a concert with my ex-girlfriend, Eucalyptus Butt, and on our way home, I was driving and I had a seizure driving on I-95. So she had to take control of the wheel and pull us over. Fucking saved our lives. So, am I going to listen to those fucking family members who know nothing about epilepsy and choose to discriminate against other races and people that have a different choice in sex? Hell fucking no. Remember, if anyone says something like, you're as stupid as a doorknob, can go fuck a doorknob. Unless, you're into that thing, and you go fuck a doorknob. So my cousin is like my closest family member because we're the same age. I'm just a few weeks older than him. And we grew up together. No lie, I was always kind of jealous of him, kind of no shame. Because his parents were slightly rich, they're both doctors and stable. And mine, well, not so much, being fucking drug addicts. Anyway, I always had a lot of girlfriends, or at least I tried to. And I thought I'd marry young and have a lot of kids when I was younger. But I guess I overdid the dating thing, and turns out, nope, I don't like kids, and I'm the gay cousin in the sheep, or I'm the gay cousin in the family, so I'm like the black sheep. And instead it's my other cousin who got married during the pandemic and is having a kid. So I guess the joke's on me. It's just a cool, funny story to me. But it reminds me, because I'll remember my dad told me once, we were talking about my grades and sex and what was more important to him. And I kid you not, you'll never forget this. I asked him, what would make you more proud of me then? If I got all C's in school but a lot of pussy, or got all A's in school and no pussy? And he said, get B's and an average amount of pussy. So I'll never forget that shit. And I'm not gonna say I lived by it, but I was an all B student. So I told my stepmom how my dad used to touch me as a child once they got divorced. And she got back together with him after that. So to get back at my stepmom, I used to sneak into her house and take some of the weed that I was actually selling to her. So I took the weed that I sold her from her house, saved it until the next time she needed to buy more weed, and then I'd sell her the same exact weed all over again. That's what you get for believing a pedophile over me. So she was actually pretty awesome, though. She did take care of me when I got into my motorcycle accident and broke my legs. She used to tell me she was in a motorcycle crew and she used to ride Harleys. And she finally came to visit me after about 6 years to the Key West, where I live. And she tried out my electric bicycle on the first day. And not a second later, she goes fucking flying into the curb and almost decapitated herself, broke her hip, her rib, and her clavicle. I mean, if you can't ride, just say so. We don't talk anymore. Roses are red, violets are blue. Did you know 75 million people died in World War II? All because of some guy with an amazing fucking mustache. And I used to think I can rap and I was cool. My boss and my coworkers have been inviting me to do karaoke for years. And I haven't been until the other night. My boss's niece and her friend came into town, and her friend has some huge boobs. I mean, like the biggest boobs I have ever seen, and I'm at work and I can't concentrate. All I can think about is how big her titties were. And they stayed at my table. They sat at my table, and she invited me to do karaoke and sing with her that night. And like I said, all I can think of, like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead, this is it, Victor. You're finally gonna score. You're gonna lay your face directly into her dirty little pillows. By dirty little pillows, I mean dirty, perfect pillows. But all like her boobs, also all I could think is they know everyone has been inviting me for a while now, years now. And the only reason I'm probably going is because she has these gigantic boobs, and I feel like everyone is going to think that I am a creep. But it's okay. It's what it is. What it is. I was also afraid of flirting with the wrong girl, and I imagined my boss coming up to me and saying, "I can't believe you, Victor. My niece liked you, and all you cared about were her friend's big titties. You're fired." I just can't. That's all I imagined. So I'm talking to my pen pal Tara, who I send all my jokes to every day, and I tell her about these perfect bare breasts. I mean, these absolutely amazing looking knockers. She says I absolutely have to man up and go crush a cover of Don't Stop Believing with this girl. So I drink a beer, I clean myself up, I put on deodorant and cologne and my sport jacket, and I say, wish me luck, I'm going to see these boobs. And it is cold outside. I actually get there, and there's a lot of people. I'm shaking, my fingers are numb. I look inside the window, I don't see the girls. So I'm like, fuck this, I'm going home because my name is Victory and I am a loser. But it's okay. The very next day, I got redemption. Went to work and I tried to rap. I got invited again, and I went and I tried to rap Eminem's Like a Toy Soldier for my roommate that had shot himself in our room, because that was the last song that he listened to. But I was pretty drunk, so I couldn't actually read the words. They were just going way too fast. By the way, he didn't make it. Okay. But I did go back up and I sang Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Marvin Gaye with the girl with the big tits. And then to close it off, I chose to sing by myself Coldplay's Rush of Blood to the Head. And hopefully I sounded manly, because if I didn't, I'm gonna have to blame it all on a rush of blood to my head. Anyway, thank you everyone. My name is Victory, and I am the loser. I am your father. I am your father's father. You will listen to only me. Simon says listen to me. What's up, monkey?